A WIS investigation finds the U.S. Department of Homeland Security gave a warning about vulnerabilities at Richland County's remote election supplies warehouse last summer, and issues remain.
Now, we are in the middle of early voting ahead of Election Day this coming Tuesday. County leaders say the facility is secure.
Chief investigative reporter Chris Joseph obtained these documents.
So, Chris, is there any evidence the facility had break-ins?
Yeah, Dondi, that's the good news here. There is no evidence that we have obtained of any issues or any break-ins at that warehouse. The Sheriff's Department says it has no incident reports for the warehouse, and the interim director says some equipment has actually been moved out for early voting. Now, that said, state and local leaders say this is a facility that is a problem and it needs to be fixed. There's been concern about this facility since at least 2019.
Richland County's election warehouse contains the office's most important assets, election workers, and the equipment which helps count your votes. It's faced criticism.
Where y'all's machines are stored is deplorable. I mean, it's deplorable not only because it's dangerous to go work on them, the building is in severe disrepair, it's a long way away, and it's not a place that you can work every day.
WIS obtained a January 2019 letter from the South Carolina State Election Commission, which was slim on details, but it cited a Department of Homeland Security recommendation to move the election equipment to a more secure location. A June 2021 memo from the federal agency was more searing. Exterior lighting was described as completely inadequate. A lack of fencing means the vehicle gate provides little, if any, protection, and the inspector also strongly urged cameras to be installed outside the facility.
What stood out to you, and maybe what was the most pressing item for you?
The most pressing item for me probably would be lighting.
Richland County's interim director of voter registration and elections, Terry Graham, sat down for an interview with County Administrator Leonardo Brown. Brown and the Richland County Council fund, but don't oversee, the elections office. Graham says interior cameras and motion detection are there to protect the equipment. He says fencing has been improved in years past, and there was discussion of exterior cameras.
So has more lighting and more cameras been put up since that report was filed?
No more lighting and no more cameras, no.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why?
You gonna be addressed that, Mr. Graham?
Yes.
So, Mr. Joseph, I think first of all, it's important to, I know we hadn't talked about this, but this is Terry Graham. He is the interim director of voter registrations and elections.
Brown explained how the elections office is a separate office from the county government, but the county council is committed to assisting Graham in addressing the issues. Both leaders stress the facility is secure from bad actors.
There are measures in place. You should not try to do that. Because it's going to end in a bad result for you if you're trying to do bad things. We've made sure that security is needed, that's in place. We will have you on camera, and we will have the deputies come and get you.
The day after the interview, I found the front gate unlocked and the door open. I alerted Graham, who responded, "Our staff is there." The following day, I returned. The door was closed, and staff quickly shut the loading door and locked the gate after I arrived. During our interview days prior, the leaders said the federally outlined vulnerabilities would be addressed.
We foresee that happening in the immediate future and begin to address those things after the election cycle is over with.
Well, respectfully, I mean, Mr. Graham, you were the deputy under the previous director, and so I have no doubt you were familiar with that document. And so I guess I need to get back to the question of why. You know, we've known about this for a year. Why didn't it come up in the budget discussion for potential improvements for this facility?
Well, that's something I can't speak upon. I mean, I was I was a deputy, and as deputy, as my role wasn't to be so much familiar with the budget. My job was to make sure the day-to-day operation is as far as the staff, they are doing what they're supposed to do. And as far as budgetary information, that's something my former director, that's what she handled.
Graham took over as interim director this August after former director Alexandria Stevens stepped down. He told us he was first made aware of the vulnerabilities last August or September. WIS obtained emails Stevens sent on February 1st of this year saying she didn't recall receiving the memo or overlooked it. She received it that day. Stevens writes in subsequent emails in May of this year, she's reached out to Brown and the State Election Commission has been informed. She resigned this August. When Graham took over, he faced the challenges of poll worker recruitment and issues with poll worker pay.
Mr. Graham and I have talked about, let's get through this election, let's have a successful election process, let's pick up the warehouse and any questions concerning that after that's done.
Timing, in my opinion, is everything. I mean, doing it now it wouldn't be good for us, the voter registration and election department, because we don't have the time to focus, and we're not even trying to focus on warehouse. As long as the warehouse is being secured.
Both men say they're looking at potential new locations for the equipment and the elections office, including the public safety facility at Columbia Place Mall.
The conditions of the warehouse that were listed in the report that you all are addressing, again, those reports are designed to say, what are the ideal scenarios? So is the current situation ideal? No, it's not. But I think after a pandemic, we would all believe that living in unideal conditions are something that we are used to. And what we do is we say, how can we make things better for the future?
A decision on a new location has not been made.
Now, our attempts to contact Stevens for this story were unsuccessful. To get a new location, the Elections Board will have to okay the plan, and then the Richland County Council will have to approve the funds. So again, two different bodies there. The County Council Chair and the Chair of the Elections Board both declined interviews for this story. Important to note, the county has worked to make physical improvements really related to the condition of that building. That includes roof maintenance.
Chris, thank you for that. I'm curious, where is the State Election Commission on all this?
Yeah, so I reached out to them in relation to this situation. The State Election Commission tells me that the responsibility of the warehouse really falls on the county. It's their responsibility to fund it. They have spent money related to equipment for county offices in the past as well. So not totally hands off, but in this matter, appears they are.
And what about the Richland County delegation, House members and state senators who oversee the Richland County Elections Voter Commission there? What have they done? What are they doing? What's their role and responsibility?
Yeah, absolutely. So delegation members really appoint the Elections Board, and I've got an opportunity to speak with them. They obviously expressed concern related to the situation, but they also expressed optimism at the idea that there will be a new location coming up. They said communication between all parties involved really needs to improve moving forward.
Thank you very much.